Hello and welcome on behalf of Pebble Media. We're glad you're tuning in today. Happy to see you here at our online seminar, Looking Forward. We've put together a great program for you with some interesting international speakers. You're not only going to be able to join in and see some interesting presentations by our key speakers, but watch till the end to see how we'll be handling out our Pebble Media Awards. And the guy who's going to tell us more about what's going to happen today is Niels.
Hallo iedereen, bonjour tout le monde and hello everyone. It is with great pleasure that I join you here today to introduce the first agency event on behalf of Pebble Media and with all our international partners present. This unique event combines both inspirational sessions and a closing ceremony with 3 very beautiful awards addressed to the best performing agency for each partner. It is the first time that we organize this event, so the winners of these awards will walk away with the very first award of Spotify, LinkedIn or Snapchat. With these, we would like to recognize the team and agency in the media industry whose work had most impact on our way of work, growth and learning curve. As sales director at Pebble Media, I speak for the team now, and I have to say we truly had the chance in 2020 to work with some of the most passionate people of our industry. Thanks to you, we were able, for example, to launch Snapchat last year in Belgium as a partner and with great success. The complementarity with our other platforms regarding audiences, data and formats are great and gave advertisers and agencies the opportunity to add Snapchat on top of their existing media plan. Unlike other platforms such as Facebook and Google who suffered from the pandemic, the app Snapchat, which is designed to connect users with their closest friends and family, saw a boost in engagement, while many teens and college students were forced to stay home from school. And during the current pandemic, Spotify has seen rises too in time spent on their various playlists. 1,000% increase in homeschool teen playlists, an increase of 120% in baking playlists, and a 23% increase for the Spotify chill playlist. So people use audio streaming at different times for different purposes to accompany their work, relaxation, exercise and so on. This gave us lots of new opportunities and products such as Sponsored Playlist, which was a huge success for advertisers, and we hope to continue this in 2021. Being present and anticipate on these special moments will definitely make a huge difference in terms of effectiveness of your campaign. The rise and importance of audio we all experience will hopefully stimulate you to integrate Spotify in your media planning as an obviousness, next to radio. In 2020, we also had the ambition to launch programmatic sale via Pebble Media. Despite a short delay, we are live now. So a big reminder to you all, if you have questions regarding your audio or video strategy on Spotify, I/O or programmatic, please do give us a call. Last but not least, some words about our most senior partner at Pebble Media, LinkedIn. Now more than ever, it's important to build meaningful connections and conversations with your audiences who are searching for information and guidance in an authentic way. Brand safety has been more and more important for advertisers, and rightly so. The number of new advertisers finding their way towards this platform was huge in 2020. And we saw the similar rush if we look at the usage of LinkedIn. Already in the beginning, there has been a 55% year-on-year increase in conversations among connections on LinkedIn. And we've seen a 60% year-on-year increase in content creation. And these numbers are still growing. And it's obvious that during these uncertain times, which will be over soon, I hope, there is a need for a trustworthy environment. The degree to which users feel safe on a given platform is an indicator of their willingness to engage with platform content, including your ads. And we are convinced that this will increase over the next few years. As you all know, the upcoming enhanced collaboration between SBS, Media House, Skynet and Pebble Media is coming closer and closer. We can't wait to tell you more about it in the upcoming weeks. But something we can already say is that it will bring more resources, even better service and lots of creativity. And thanks to the expertise of every sales house, we will be able to provide much more insights and monitoring of your upcoming campaigns. We are really looking forward to it, and I hope you do too. Let us now jump in today's agenda. As I said, this event would not have been possible without the help of our international partners. And it's a unique event where we combine 3 very interesting players to make it even more inspirational for you. First, we start with LinkedIn, followed by Spotify and Snapchat. We now have the opportunity to listen and discover the latest trends and outlook brought to you by our international contacts and speakers for today. Please stay with us till the end of the event because we will be ending in style with our first award ceremony.
Thank you, Niels. Let's take a look at what to expect today. We'll be presenting interesting lectures by Joe Grimsdale, Partner Accountant Director at Spotify. Max Rivera comes by too, and he's from Snapchat. But before all that, we head over to the UK, because that's where Sefide is already waiting for us. She is channel lead for EMEA at LinkedIn in London. Her focus is mainly on business development in the growth market, and she works with partners to get the best out of the LinkedIn platform in different countries. She speaks perfect Persian and Mandarin, but today we'll do it in English. Don't forget to note your questions if you might have any. We'll tell you more about how to get your answers after the presentation. And now, over to London.
Hello everyone, my name is Sefide Dundon and I am Partner Manager here at LinkedIn. I'm excited to be here today with you virtually to share more about LinkedIn and doing business where business is done. As you probably are all aware, LinkedIn is a trusted platform where professionals can connect. Our community of 690 million members come to LinkedIn to engage with business opportunity, to learn, to share best practice, and to grow their careers. My objective today is to share with you more around the marketing opportunity present on LinkedIn and why it should be a foundational part of your marketing activity. No matter what your objective is, whether it's brand building, driving conversions, simplifying a purchasing journey, we have the resources and the platform that will help you meet your growth objectives. Before we start talking about our capabilities, I wanted to share more about our perspective on where marketing is today and where it's quickly moving. Over the past few years, the marketing pendulum has rapidly shifted from one extreme to the other, as we go from a world with limited data to data overload, mass reach to one-on-one relationships, doing everything ourselves to automation, and over the past year, in an environment where we work from an office to where we work from home. Things are rapidly changing for us all the time. And amidst all these shifts, we believe there's never been a more interesting time to be in the digital marketing landscape. As we navigate these changes together, consumers believe that brands should continue having a voice and communicating with their consumers over social media, live streaming, and advertising. And as digital attention increases with more people spending time online, marketers play a key role in helping their businesses grow and recover. In a recent survey, we found that 73% of respondents agreed that brands should advertise as normal or have no opinion at all throughout these changes that we're going through. However, we know that there's a number of challenges that marketers still face. The first is the complex buying journey. It takes time to find customers because your buyers and their broader buying committees are hard to reach. Attention spans are also limited as your buyers are distracted with all the noise that's out there in the market. And marketing is under constant pressure to prove ROI to stakeholders internally and to the rest of the organization. Delving a bit more depth into these 3 topics, let's look at them in more detail. The first challenge: when purchases require high consideration from buyers, the right buyers can be tough to find. To start, not everyone in the industry is in the market for your product. Your ads need to reach a more targeted, focused audience that has a higher propensity to convert over the course of their lifetime. 92% of buyers say that content plays an important role in their buying decision. Yet, only 1 in 2 of them believe that they receive the right type of content that addresses their pain points and their responsibilities. Second, not everyone in the market has the right level of decision-making power. And in today's COVID world, Executives are more involved with purchasing decisions than ever, so you have to reevaluate. Who is the actual decision maker? Has this changed over time? And is it going to change in the future as well? On top of that, there are typically multiple people involved in the purchase decision. The average B2B buying committee now has 6.8 people in it. This lengthens the decision-making process even further. Which brings me to my next point. The buyer's journey is longer and much more complex. On average, B2B sales cycles can take up to 6 months and more, which means you need to share additional information as you guide your consumers through their decision-making process. And your buyers are already tough to find because there's fewer of them out there, but they're also harder to connect with. When they make a bigger investment, they are arguably have more on the line and more at risk. Therefore, brands need to catch buyers when they're in the right mindset, ready to consider a more expensive purchase. A recent Gartner study found that 27% of B2B buyers spend their time researching independently online when they're considering a new supplier. So you have to make sure that your brand is out there and at the forefront for buyers to research and to find out more. And even though we just talked about the fact that building connections with target audiences takes time, we know that marketers are under pressure to show short-term gains and immediate impact to the business. Digital marketers deliver tremendous and often unrecognized value to their organizations. This lack of recognition often arrives, rather ironically, through their inability to prove results. 63% of marketers don't feel very confident in their ROI measurement today, and only 4% of digital marketers measure ROI over a 6-month period or longer. And as I mentioned earlier, the B2B sales cycle is longer and it takes time to connect and build relationships with potential buyers. So you can see the disconnect here. Marketers today are measuring ROI too soon. And finally, in a world we're living in with COVID, where budgets are being cut or tightened, we know that they're being scrutinized more and more. And therefore, it's important to prove ROI and show the impact of your marketing efforts. And to solve for these 3 challenges, marketers need a different kind of advertising platform, a place where companies stand out against a backdrop of brands, professionals, and learning resources. A place that looks a lot like LinkedIn. And at LinkedIn, we believe that LinkedIn can help you drive your business forward. We connect with professional audiences who are on our platform making decisions. They come to drive meaningful engagement and are in a mindset to do business in an environment that yields results for them through the fact that we are a trusted platform. And for the 3rd year in a row, LinkedIn was awarded the most trusted platform in the Business Insider Digital Trust Report. It is the premier digital platform where members come to focus on building and growing their professional community. We've created an environment where consumers and brands alike feel respected and feel safe. We've ranked number 1 for least annoying ads, confidence in data, and least deceptive content. You can also trust this environment to deliver meaningful results for you in the short and long term. Our results stand out for themselves. Brands see a 2 to 3% lift in brand attribution when advertising on LinkedIn. Marketers see 2 times higher conversion rates on LinkedIn, and we continue to knock it out the park when it comes to reach and lead generation alike, as we were recently named the number 1 rated platform for B2B lead generation. And now it's time to focus in on your business and how we can help drive business growth for you on LinkedIn. Today, I'd like to show you how you can reach your consumers amongst the largest professional audience. Take advantage of our trusted environment to communicate with your buyers and deliver the business results that matter at the end of a complex buying journey. So the first step is really planning for objectives. We know that before you launch any sort of campaign, you're in a planning phase, deciding on who to target, what your key objectives are, and what success looks like. This step is critical to ensuring that your LinkedIn campaigns are set up for success. And investing in both long and short-term success is critical for business growth. When we talk about brand marketing, we're talking about how your product or service stands out on LinkedIn or on any platform in that case. Brand marketing is creating memorable links between the brand and relevant buying situations over the long term. When we talk about demand marketing, we're getting people excited about a new brand or product in order to generate that demand. And driving awareness and generating interest are the key focal points. Demand marketing is highly targeted and is used to excite key audiences to drive that demand. Examples of this could be account-based marketing, emails, webinars, retargeting campaigns. And when it comes to objectives, our platform is designed to really think about what you're trying to achieve with your marketing goals, whether that's awareness, driving brand awareness, whether it's consideration, such as website visits or video views, or whether it's conversions and getting leads. We have the platform set up in a way where you can decide what your key objective is and make sure that you're on the right path to achieving that. The second step is all around finding the right audiences. You need to find the right audience to enable you to reach who you want on the platform. And it should be apparent by now that LinkedIn is continually focused on our professional community and the audiences we've fostered there. This focus is why our platform provides a strong foundation for your marketing efforts. A professional audience and a professional mindset to do business is present and active on our platform. Now you just need to identify who your target audience is, what they care about, and how best to reach them. And to help with that, we've built advanced targeting capabilities that allow you to connect directly into that professional audience you're looking for. And this is all possible by the first-party robust data that we have from our users that they keep up to date. We know all these things you can see here. We know what company they're working for, what job title they have, their previous education, what their interests and their identity is. And you can leverage this all as targeting capabilities on the LinkedIn platform. The third step is all around establishing community and joining in on those conversations that are happening on LinkedIn. The first step is really thinking about your content strategy for your audience. And there's a number of things you can do here. The first is you can follow topics and trending hashtags to see what conversations are already happening and join in on those conversations. You can also leverage content suggestions to help drive your content strategy forward and enable you to know what you should be talking about. You can also monitor industry activity, so checking in on your competitors to see what they're up to and making sure that you're ahead of them. These are all ways you can get started about thinking about your content strategy on LinkedIn. Once you've had some thoughts about that and you know what you want to do, the second step is really building out your page, if of course you already don't have one. And your LinkedIn page is your home on the platform. It's where professionals come to find out about who you are, to connect with you, and to engage in discussions. And there's a number of ways you can activate your page. You can post content on your page on a daily basis. You can connect with different followers that you have. You can publish thought leadership content, and you can share information about your company culture and why it's a great place to work. These are all numerous ways in which you can get started with your page on LinkedIn. And we have a number of products now that enable you to stay connected with your followers and with your wider audience. You may have seen that last year we launched LinkedIn Live and LinkedIn Events. So LinkedIn Events is one of our newer products that enables you to strengthen relationships with your audience and to meet customers where they are. You can connect with audiences via a closed and invitation-driven event that will enable you to drive engagement before the event, during the event, and of course after the event. And you may have already heard about LinkedIn Live. So LinkedIn Live enables you to live stream video content from your page to your followers and to really start that conversation, especially in this world now where we're all virtual. It's a fantastic tool to be able to be in front of your followers and your wider audiences when they're at home. The fourth step is all around launching your campaign, so connecting with buyers and delivering the value that they deserve. And one of the ways we recommend you get started is by really leveraging organic posts. So by testing and posting about a variety of different topics, you can see what resonates with your audience best and what they're reacting to. Once you have a feel of that, you can go in more depth and look at those top performing organic posts and really pick them out. And once you know what they are, you can amplify them by promoting them to a paid advertising format, so they reach beyond the followers of your page. And there's different ways you can amplify your organic posts on LinkedIn. You can think about sponsored content, sponsored messaging, and additional ad formats that we have, such as dynamic ads and text ads. So with sponsored content, this appears in the feed and it enables you to share different forms of content that might be video content. It could be a single image, it could be a carousel, it could be a lead gen ad. The aim here is to appear in the feed to the audience that cares about your brand. Sponsored messaging is more of a targeted, focused method of communication where you can appear in front of your audience in that message format in their inbox. You can even now start conversations with them in that inbox feature. And we have a number of additional ad formats as well, such as our dynamic ads and text ads that are mainly used to generate awareness about your brand. And of course, there's a lot more available on this on our LinkedIn Marketing Solutions site. So I encourage you to have a look there if you're interested in knowing more about the different ad formats. The final step is really around measuring your results. And of course, we spoke about the importance of measuring results over an extended period of time. And at LinkedIn, we have a number of partners we work with that enable our customers to measure their results over that extended period. So, of course, you have the ability to monitor results in Campaign Manager, live in what you might be running or what Pebble Media might be running for you. But you can also integrate with numerous different partners that we have, such as Hootsuite, HubSpot, and really take that a step further in building out your ROI for your organization. And again, we have more information available on this on our Marketing Solutions site and on our LinkedIn Partner Portal, where you can really have a look at what partners we integrate with and how you can leverage them in what you're doing. So I hope that was beneficial for you. If there are any questions, if you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, please do. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Later today, we'll be presenting the Pebble Media Best Performing Agency Awards for the very first time, so stay with us. Which parties will win these awards? But first, two more interesting keynote speakers. After Safi Day at LinkedIn, it's Joe Grimsdale's turn at Spotify. Since joining Spotify in 2018, he has managed several important markets in Europe in his role as Partner Accountant Director. Joe has a track record of more than 10 years in various media sectors and has developed experience in building reseller markets. Now he uses and shares that knowledge to help us to get the most out of the endless possibilities of Spotify platform. Connecting brands with the right target groups by using data intelligence, right person, right time, and right message. That's what it's all about. Before we switch to Joe, we know that if you have any questions, you can always ask us. So head over to lookingforward.media and fill in the form. You can leave your questions there and we will answer them as soon as possible. Time now to learn more about the exciting world of Spotify. Joe?
Hello, I'm Joe Grimsdale from Spotify, and I'm here today to talk to you about Spotify's Culture Next report, giving you some insights into the generations that are rebuilding society as we move into 2021. Now, we've seen that 2020 has accelerated some existing cultural trends among young people and also created some new ones. We see this and we will see this continue in the years to come, and people, Gen Zs and millennials, defining the future generations around them. At Spotify, we see these cultural trends reflected directly on our platform. Our influential young listeners stream the music and podcasts they love for hours each day, taking us wherever they are. All this listening power gives us a rich first-party data set, which we at Spotify call our streaming intelligence. And the insights we gleaned from this data help us understand and shape where culture is heading to next. For this project, our research team partnered with Culture Co-op, Lucid, and B3 Intelligence to help us explore how Gen Z and millennials are influencing art, technology, business, and culture as we all move into the new normal. As of this year, Gen Z is outgrowing millennials, with 13 to 24-year-olds versus 25 to 39-year-olds. The global population of Gen Zs is just over 2.46 billion, surpassing that of millennials, just over 2.42 billion. As Gen Zs are already making their mark on society through entrepreneurship, scrappy creativity, and grassroots politics, millennials aren't really young adults anymore. Most are already in their 30s and have established lives around them. Nearly half of them are married and half have kids. 40% own a home and 67% are in full-time employment. The growing opportunity for brands now lies with Gen Z, with 57% of Gen Z Spotify free users saying that they are the sole purchase decision maker in their household. So there's a real opportunity for brands to connect with this upcoming new Gen Z audience. So when we asked Gen Zs and millennials about what gives them more creative freedom than past generations, access was a running theme, which makes sense. You know, these audiences have never known a world that they couldn't pull up a piece of information virtually at any time, anywhere. TikTok has played host to endless quarantine memes and videos, converting personal expression into an act of fostering community and providing release. Zoom has quickly commandeered to host birthday parties, jam sessions, beer pong, blind dates, and of course, college classes, which led to the creation of the Zoom University merch. Now, Gen Zs and millennials have a sharp focus on global, widespread issues that will affect their generation for years to come. They are an astute group who is in tune with what is going on around them, and 71% are less interested in political parties than they are with moving the world forward. They are doing more than ever to change the game in areas like racial injustice, equality, the environment, and animal cruelty, among many others. Gen Zs and millennials are passionate consumers and influencers of digital culture. They see music as intrinsic to cultural trends and turn to Spotify to discover what's next in an experience that's very personalized to them. Music helps these audiences connect, discover, build, and educate, all of which are incredibly important to them. The personal nature of our content on Spotify leads to more audience engagement with both the platform and brands around it, ultimately helping you as brand marketers benefit from the trust we at Spotify have with our users. So let's take a look at some of the biggest trends we saw from our report. So the first trend in Gen Zs is that they are ready to rebuild society from the ground up. Whether it's sidestepping a traditional education, career path, or pushing the boundaries of gender, this is a generation that is ready to roll up its sleeves and start over again. They are happy to do this as a collective or individually, and it there comes as no surprise that 65% of Gen Zs are expecting to be their own boss. These individuals have grown up in a distributed world with remote working, career shifts, all a part of their daily lives. Now, this has only been exaggerated during the ongoing pandemic, and these users of all ages are in fact turning to Spotify to educate them in the world around them. And they're doing this in a big way through podcast content, from gaming to science to sports and pretty much everything else in between. Audiences of all nature, but particularly Gen Zs, are turning to podcast content to educate them about the world around them. So the second trend we saw was that more and more families are tuning into audio to help them thrive in what has become a very different home environment. Now, technology has always disrupted how people interact, from TV dinners to instant messaging and dating apps. But never before has technology changed life so drastically and so quickly in the recent pandemic. 85% of parents told us that being connected as a family is fundamental to thriving in today's world. Now, when we think about the technology around us as families, smart speakers, connected cars, voice activation, and smart homes are now interwoven in all of our family lives, changing the way families check in with one another, how they put their children to bed, and also learn together. We discussed a few slides ago how podcast content is nurturing education, and we're seeing this in families of all age levels, from young families to mature students at home. Podcast content and audio is really nurturing the education piece within the family environment. And among the people we spoke to, audio has created new and deeply emotional connections to our homes and to one another. So Gen Zs and millennials have seen a 263% increase in listening to family relevant podcast content on smart speakers. From what we can hear, families are tuning into audio for their entertainment, their education, and their quality time together. These shifts in habits and audio behavior spell powerful opportunities for brands who want to connect with young families. We then identified a trend of discovery and how this helps our audience build communities around them. On Spotify, we have over 4,000 microgenres, representing multiple cultures and interests. Through digital platforms like Spotify, we see that 73% of our users say it was easier to feel connected to communities in a socially distanced world. With such a variety of content on Spotify, from microgenres to podcasts, music and audio allows people to explore new cultures, with 80% of our audience agreeing that music offers a fantastic gateway into new culture. Now looking at our final trends, we are seeing how sound has evolved and how the qualities of powerful sound make them powerful to brand marketers like yourselves. At Spotify, we often explore how audio moves with us as we navigate our day. But as we are increasingly using our voice in our daily lives, our intimacy with audio grows. 72% of Gen Zs and millennials agree that voice makes us more sentimental to the devices and technology around us. Now, a voice is a very powerful thing. It creates an immediate connection, and we see this with our podcast listeners, with 77% of them saying it's very easy to feel emotionally connected to the host of a piece of podcast content. But how can all of this data and all of this research come together for you as brand marketers to help you reach these trendsetters and global movers on Spotify? Well, through our streaming intelligence, we can help identify what content is important for your brand, identifying specific playlists that resonate with them. With a commercial sponsorship, your brands can align with these young creators and put your brands in this discovery and connection moment with our audience. We can then help you join in the family moments by putting your brand right at the center of the family fun. Through device and contextual targeting, we can put your brand in this moment in the family's connected home. And finally, rather than focusing on standard demo targeting, let's help you as brand marketers reach these communities and moments that your audience wants to be part of. Our streaming intelligence can help you identify the core genres and playlists that are relevant for your audience. So to finish, by personalizing your message and targeting on Spotify, we want to help you talk to your customer, not the customer, speaking to them in a tone and moment that matters to them. We then want to help you connect beyond the click by weaving your brand into people's daily lives and the content that your audience loves. So thank you for your time today. I look forward to connecting with you all about how Spotify can help you reach your customers in 2021. Thank you.
We've already seen two very interesting presentations today. We would like to offer you a coffee in between, but there's something we can't do digitally. So head over to your kitchen and treat yourself to a drink. Let's get ready again, because we have one more exciting session to go before we hand out our awards. For this, we visit Snap Inc. That's the parent company behind the wildly popular Snapchat app. It will be Max who will welcome us here. In a previous life, he was mainly active in the agencies and he worked with major brands such as Marriott Hotels, Citibank, Mercedes-Benz and many others. Since 2006, he has been working on the brand's commercial strategy in Latin America and, of course, here in Europe. Large but also smaller companies can very easily get the most out of the Snapchat platform. Curious to see some of those cases and examples? Don't forget, if you have any questions, please leave them on our site lookingforward.media.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate this time here with me. I'm here to talk to you about some of the strategies for what we call at Snap, the next normal. But first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Max, and I'm on the Snap team helping expand into our international new markets. And at Snap, we call this the next normal, because we think for this prolonged period of time that we've been living in 2020 and 2021, we actually think that's the new normal. It's been such a long time that it's now become a normality that we're working from home and not being able to go out. And what we're really excited about, and we want to talk about today, is what happens next after this new normal period that we're living in now. In order to think about that, it's really important for us to evaluate some of the trends that were happening before we got into this, some of the trends that accelerated during this time period, and then think about what some of those trends might look like after we're over this period, which I'm sure we all hope to be over with soon. And a lot of the things that are happening during this time is we're starting to rethink how we engage as a society. And we're starting to change some fundamental things of culture and just how we express ourselves, particularly online. And this change is driven by a specific generation, which this is going to be my first point here that we are going to look at together, which is the particular generation that's driving the change, that's really embracing some of these new normalities and starting to impact how we do things overall. We like to call the generation at Snap the Snap generation, because they really are the ones that have been using Snapchat since the very beginning and continue to use it actively and redefining the way in which we use our platform. And so I want to introduce you to this Snapchat generation. Overall, we have around 265 million people that use Snapchat on a daily basis around the world. And more importantly than that, it's incredible to see how this generation behaves just slightly different than previous generations. Over 150% of them communicate more with pictures than words. 50% of them feel a responsibility to change the world. And they interact with their close friends 5x more than what they do with influencers or celebrities or kind of popular accounts. So they really value that connection with real people and real friends, which during this time, it has been a fundamental thing for our platform to be able to continue to offer that connection that they so much seek with their real friends, and they can get that in Snapchat. The other thing that this generation really values that we think is going to be of value for all generations, not just during this time, but also before and more importantly afterwards, is the importance around online safety, anything around protecting against negative commentary and privacy, just data privacy and protection of how the users engage. And we're very happy because people that use our platform report that our platform makes them happy, makes them feel happy, and they enjoy using our platform, which is something that we're really proud of, to be able to create a space where people come and have a positive experience. And the second point, or second trend that we want to look at here, is the purchasing power of this generation. So in 2020, this generation made 1 in every 3 purchases, and they're expected to drive half of the increase of the expenditure growth over the next decade. This was a trend that we observed even before this new normal. And we actually think it's one of those trends that has accelerated, as this generation is going to be the first one to go out in the world. They're already more active currently in their current state. So they're really going to be a generation that drives expenditure, that drives commerce. And what's interesting really to think about this generation, which we're really talking about Gen Zs and millennials, on the younger age group, you have direct purchasing power, but you also have tremendous indirect purchasing power by way of influencing the household. And I think more now than ever, we can all relate to that as we live in our homes and we're here with our either teenager family members or children. We can really understand how much they drive our purchasing behavior at the household level. But then they also have this direct purchasing power, especially as you start to go older, obviously, into that millennial generation that just has tremendous purchasing power and influencing in commerce, and will play a major role in going back into the next normal and how we shop in the future. And of course, one of the most talked about trends during this time is the explosion or boom of e-commerce, something that is not necessarily new, has been going on for a long time, and really over the last 12 months has seen tremendous acceleration. And we expect that to continue even further as we head into 2021 and 2022. This chart that you're looking at here is particularly for the US, but this is a global trend that we're observing in every single region around the world, particularly in Central Eastern Europe and Western Europe. And worldwide, the e-commerce is expected to grow by nearly 16.5%, which is just tremendous on a year-over-year change basis. The third trend is the adoption of the small screen. And this kind of goes hand in hand with e-commerce, as more of that happens on your mobile phone than on desktop. But there's many other things now that we're doing on our phone, particularly consuming video and consuming content. Here on Snap, it's incredible to see the amount of time that our users are spending now consuming our premium content within our app. But again, it's not a trend that's specific to Snap. We're really seeing a momentum in mobile video consumption. And here you can see this chart where it is expected during this time frame that mobile is really surpassing TV for the first time. This happened before the new normal that we're in, and it actually accelerated even further. And you can see here how in 2020, 2021, we're really going to overachieve on our time spent on mobile versus video, which is incredible that we're at this juncture during this time period and giving us all the opportunities to really embrace the new screen. And one of the things that really excites us at Snap is our ability to leverage this small screen in the way that it was built, which is in a vertical form, in a full screen way. Something that when we pioneered this a few years ago was really thought of to be disruptive. And now we really think is the new normal, is to consume content that is vertical and that it is full screen. And why it's that so important is because data has really shown us that the effectiveness of video in this form is much more effective or powerful than video that is horizontal, that really wasn't made for this mobile screen. And the other thing that I think excites us as we think about this mobile device and the screen is that there's other components of it, like the camera. And the camera allows us to really bring storytelling to life using technologies like augmented reality and computer vision. And we're starting to see tremendous engagement in this space. We really think we're living through a augmented reality revolution during this last few months. On Snapchat in particular, we have over 200 million daily AR users, which is just an incredible figure just to see the mass reach that this technology has achieved just within our platform. But we're certainly observing this trend outside of Snap as well. And it's so exciting to see the evolution of this technology. Another stat that I want to point out from this slide is that we're seeing both people engage with augmented reality from a consumption standpoint, but also from a creator standpoint. On Snapchat and a platform called Lens Studio, we have over 1.5 million lenses created by our community, by a group of artists amateur designers, just everyday users that are now embracing this technology and creating their own augmented reality experiences. As we think about the future of this technology, what really excites us at Snap is to start to turn the camera into a utility platform. Let's see what I mean by this. We have a few examples of some of the things we've been pioneering at Snap. You can use the camera to solve math problems by using image recognition. We can use image recognition and identify different pets or plants, or even barcodes and different products that allows our users to have fun, but to also get useful information, to solve problems in an easier fashion. We're really excited about all the potential that we have with the camera in this space in particular. And as in regards to brands, this also opens a tremendous space for brands to engage with this community in a different way. Here we have a great example by Dior that used snap codes. That was another one of the trends that we observed in 2020 is the rebirth of the codes, whether they're QR codes or snap codes. We're really seeing tremendous engagement in this kind of technology, and it allows brands to leverage it in a new way that is really immersive and really interactive. And we fundamentally believe at Snap that every business needs to start thinking about a camera strategy, which might be a very new word, but as we think about how many people are using cameras on a daily basis, it's really important that businesses start to think outside of the mold and outside of traditional marketing strategies and invest into future strategies specifically around the camera. And I want to share a few examples of what I mean by this and how powerful this technology can be for some of the brands and partners that have been doing this with us for a few years and have really evolved their marketing to incorporate the camera as a core component of their strategy. First, one of the spaces that really excites us is AR try-on, which is the ability to use the camera to empower consumers to try any product from anywhere where they are in the world, whether that's in their homes. If we can't go to a store and try on the product, particularly in the beauty space, for example, leveraging the camera to really enable users to try on the products in their comfort and safety of their homes is incredibly important nowadays. And you see how this example extends to other industries like the automobile industry or the retail and fashion industry, and so many other applications of this technology that can enable users to try on products without having to leave their safety spaces or their homes. Even more so, this technology allows us to create immersive experiences that take users and converts their environments into other environments that we want to create. You can imagine these examples that we're showing here in fashion and in retail. You're able to create showrooms or retail stores in augmented reality that users can enjoy just from their phones sitting in their homes. This can also extend to many other type of experiences. We've seen tremendous brands leveraging this to promote travel in the future. So we see some brands really take this and really take people outside of their worlds and take them to new destinations in anticipation of future travel. And so many other applications of this immersive technology that can help us take over the user's environment and take them to a new place where they can engage with our products or with our brands. And with that, I really want to wrap up. I wanted to focus just on those four trends, which we can quickly recap. Number one is the growth of the Snapchat generation, which is really that Gen Z and millennial generation that has tremendous purchasing power and will be a key component of our return to normalcy. Number two, the adoption of e-commerce and the boom around the world for this trend, particularly on mobile phones, which leads us to number four, the embrace of the mobile device and how we can use that new device for both video consumption, but also for leveraging technologies like augmented reality that can take our brands and our experiences to the next level to engage with consumers in a much, much deeper way. So we invite you to get in touch with us and work with our partners to really think about how we can build for the future. Again, thank you so much for your time today. My name is Max, and it's been a pleasure sharing this virtual time with you all today. Thank you.
We're out of keynote speakers for today, but that doesn't mean we're concluding our day here. We still have our Pebble Media Awards to hand out. Hopefully our speakers have given you a lot of tips and tricks that will really benefit you. Don't forget that you can also ask your own questions. You can do that on lookingforward.media. We will then contact you to answer your questions. Time now for the moment that many have been waiting for. We're going to present our Pebble Media Best Performing Agency Awards that Niels talked about earlier today. 2020 was a very special year, and in these special times, creativity is more than needed. We, Pebble Media, believe that there should be a nice reward in return. How about an award for that? The Best Performing Agency Award. Our LinkedIn, Spotify and Snapchat teams have each chosen one agency to celebrate, and they are happy to explain why these agencies are the big winners. Valerie and Leen, tell us who is taking home the first award of the day, the LinkedIn Best Performing Agency Award from Pebble Media.
2020 a été une année étrange. Durant cette année, nous avons tous dû nous réinventer, aussi bien personnellement que professionnellement. Et pourtant, 2020 est surtout l'année durant laquelle nous avons renforcé notre collaboration. Nous avons fait une année incroyable grâce à vous. C'est pourquoi nous avons aujourd'hui envie de vous mettre à l'honneur.
Voor ons springt één agency er bovenuit en dat is PhD. Wij willen jullie graag in de bloemetjes zetten met deze LinkedIn Best Performing Agency Award. We willen jullie bedanken voor jullie aanwezigheid in de Champions, jullie proactiviteit, jullie weten ons steeds uit te dagen en jullie willen jullie zelf ook verbeteren door aan ons insights te vragen. Hartelijk bedankt en op naar een fantastisch jaar.
Special lenses, developing a new trend, or perhaps that one unique filter that many users have started working with. Who is behind those great campaigns at Snapchat? Which agency are we celebrating today? Laura, tell us more. Who is taking home our second award of the day?
2020 was misschien wel een heel vreemd jaar, maar het was wel het jaar waarop wij Snapchat op de markt hebben kunnen brengen. We hebben prachtige campagnes mogen opzetten en heel veel nieuwe adverteerders mogen helpen. Er is echter wel één agentschap die er enorm voor ons bovenuit springt. Het is een super enthousiast team die telkens opnieuw openstaan voor nieuwigheden en ze hebben maar liefst 8 nieuwe klanten kunnen overtuigen om Snapchat te testen. Graag geven wij dus deze Snapchat 2020 Award aan Media Brands. Proficiat, ik kijk enorm uit naar een verdere super fijne samenwerking met jullie.
It's time for some music. From podcasts to playlists, from brands to events. Music was more important than ever in the past year. Music was a friend who got us through these stormy corona times. And if you've heard brands, it was because advertisers have creatively used their platform's capabilities. Some agencies more than others. Savoyke, tell us, which agency will receive the Pebble Media Best Performing Agency Award for Spotify in 2020? Tell us that name.
Het voorbije jaar was zeker geen gemakkelijk jaar. Niet voor de adverteerders, niet voor de agentschappen, niet voor de publishers. Het agentschap dat wij vandaag onder de aandacht willen brengen, heeft zich door de huidige situatie zeker niet laten doen. Ze zijn steeds enthousiasme voor Spotify blijven tonen en meer nog, met deze award willen wij het agentschap niet alleen in de bloemetjes zetten voor het afgelopen jaar, maar het is ook het ideale moment om heel het team te bedanken voor de samenwerking van de voorbije jaren en voor hun vertrouwen in Spotify en in ons team. Dus Mindshare, met heel veel plezier reiken wij deze award aan jullie uit. Proficiat!
Time to wrap up for today. We hope you had a great time this afternoon. Thank you for being part of the webinar organized by Pebble Media. We've heard interesting speakers and the winner of our awards have been announced. If you have any questions, note that you can always post them at lookingforward.media. Would you like to revisit today's speakers or did you miss something? It's the same URL, lookingforward.media. Thanks for watching and I look forward to seeing you next time. Checking out for today. Bye.